In for Payne.
And we talked about the Phoenix Suns being fourth in the league in first quarter defense. They're even better in the second quarter. They're third in the league. So this is a team that comes out and puts a ton of pressure on you in the first half.
Here's Paul. Eyes up. Out there with Saric, Johnson, Payne, and Torrey Craig. Paul mid-range, not that time, and Green secures it for Denver.
Watch for this post-up from Millsap.
Green straight on three. Too strong. Good job by Millsap to set up Morris. He got it. They had really struggled through the first two games of this series. Saric got hooked, still finished, plus the foul.
And Saric, when you think about the way he's the backup to the MVP. So, Paul's done good in the limited minutes, but, that Jokic is always coach's security blanket, he said, always trying to get him back in the game.
Rivers with 8 to shoot. Rivers cradles and reverses it home. Barton being chased by Payne. Barton trying to shake Payne, could not, still floated it in.
If anybody wants...
Denver has chipped away, made this a 4-point game after trailing by as many as 13. It's an...
You've been getting contributions from Michael Porter Jr., who struggled in game 2.
8 in the offensive rebound, sets up Craig, who cans the three. The former Nugget.
Cash can...
Millsap on the spin, the footwork, couldn't finish it. Ayton secures the rebound. Here comes Paul. Jokic still on the bench. Booker to Craig for 2. 5 straight Torrey Craig points, and Michael...
Off of need. You know who DeAndre Ayton was drafted over? Luka Doncic. And the Phoenix Suns are very happy with where they are right now because they had Devin Booker, and they've built a team around him.
Booker, the only player in Suns history to average 25 or more points in 3 separate seasons. Oh, what a breakdown. Booker, that was poetry.
And you cannot leave Michael Porter Jr. He is an improved defender. He is a guy that is working to become a better defender. But you can't let Devin Booker have a 6-dribble ISO against him on the wing.
No look from Jokic, but no 3 from the corner from Green. A 7-0 Phoenix run over the last minute and 40 seconds after Denver had cut it to 4. Paul gets the roll, and the Suns have matched their largest lead of the night. It's ballooned back to 13.
And what I like about Chris Paul is that he will buck a trend. Everybody's trying to get layups or threes where he's just like, I'm going to be the #1 player in pull-ups in the league. One of the best with his floater and pull-up game, as you saw there.
Nice back tap from Green. Porter Jr., no. Michael Porter Jr. still trying to get it going. It started strong, missed a couple there. Booker can't hit the 3. Morris, Jokic, Porter Jr., Green, and Gordon, the 5 for Denver. Morris step back 3 is good.
And that is a sight for sore eyes. Morris is coming out with the same type of confidence he's played all season long, especially in that Portland series. Like you talked about having 20 plus the last 2 games. And then right here, like Giannis said, don't play with your food. Don't play with your food, you just gotta go. And
we're good. We're good. I'm looking glad the season prepared us for this altitude, bro.
Say what you want, but that altitude is a real thing. Normally, what you try and do is you try and probably have a longer shoot around than normal, make the guys get up and down, get their wind going, but you have to prepare for the altitude almost like it's another defender.
Crowder secures the rebound. We saw how vocal Ayton is. We heard how vocal Ayton is. And
I think we saw and heard
together.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 2 senses that were being used. And that's something that Chris Paul talked about after game 2. As Bridges left Porter, couldn't hit the 3. Said the thing he loved about Ayton picking up 2 early fouls was in the huddle afterwards, Ayton was getting on the rest of the guys saying, hey, you got to do better on the perimeter. That's why I'm picking up these fouls. And Paul loved that kind of vocality from the third-year man in Ayton.
Yeah, and when your players become leaders, coaching becomes a lot easier. And Chris Paul obviously has been one of the greats at that over the course of his career. But you can see Devin Booker becoming more vocal. You can see DeAndre Ayton adding veterans like Jay Crowder to that mix allows and enables these guys to be vocal and to really push players.
Monty Williams has long been connected with Chris Paul, coached him in New Orleans, and said there's so many times where I feel like he's in my head, knows exactly when I want to call a play, knows exactly what I want for 2-for-1s. Just incredible security blanket for him as a head coach. Is Jokic. What an athletic putback from the Joker, who is down now and grabbing at his left ankle. And Austin,
we're talking about not only does he grab it, but then he finger rolls it in, and it looks like he just landed on the inside of it. Those are closer to like the bone bruises, because your ankle doesn't want to bend inward. Oh, yeah.
You heard the MVP chants. This crowd so appreciative of what Nikola Jokic has been able to do this season, even after Jamal Murray went down. And remember, Jokic also playing in all 72 games this season after Denver was one of the final 4 teams in the bubble last season. We've seen what happened to the other 3.
The other 3 took 3 quick exits. And, you know, for anybody that was talking about, oh, the bubble championship or the bubble wasn't that hard, you could just look at the players and how exhausted they are. Even this Denver Nuggets